Since moving to my new house, my car has been parked outside. Rain has been an issue when I open the trunk and water flows into the car. The weather seals don't adequately block the water. Now there is a possible solution to this problem. This particular rear window spoiler is sold on Amazon. I have also found a much better deal on eBay for around $30. See the link in the description. Here is the rain deflector spoiler as it's being removed from the shipping box. Inside is one adhesive promoter pack. This item is made from ABS plastic. It has a glossy black finish. There is also another version available that has an imitation carbon fiber look. You can see that the interior is hollow and that there are two ridges underneath where the 3M double-sided tape is attached. Overall, looks pretty nice. No obvious defects, and the finish is consistent across the whole surface, and it was not damaged in shipping. Here I'm placing it on the rear window, approximately where it's going to be fitting. The first thing we're going to do is clean off the rear window. I'm going to wipe it down and then use some isopropyl alcohol to remove any contaminants and make sure that the spoiler has a good area for adhesion. And yes, I'm being pretty thorough, making sure that the glass is clean. Okay, it's looking pretty clean. On to the next step. I'm going to use some blue painter's tape to mark the areas where I want the spoiler to be installed, and also to temporarily attach the spoiler to the glass. I used the rear defroster lines, and they work well to mark the edges for where the spoiler is going to be going. I probably could have used a measuring tape to do an exact centering of the spoiler, but this method seems to work pretty well. Center the spoiler between the two pieces of tape on either side. And now I can place a piece of tape on the center area, attach it to the glass, so the spoiler can be anchored while I work on other things. At this point, I'm making sure that the spoiler is exactly centered between the two pieces of tape on the left and right sides. I was curious about how the trunk lid covers the spoiler, and there's plenty of clearance while it closes. I recommend that you double check that the spoiler is centered, because once you attach the tape on, it's going to be very difficult to remove it if you need to change anything. I'm going over one last time to make sure the glass is clean. At this point, we will use the packet of adhesion promoter. Take this cloth and rub it all along the glass area where the spoiler is going to go. It gives a tacky feel that will help the 3M tape. I'm going to flip the spoiler over so I can reach the 3M plastic backing that needs to be removed. I will place the spoiler in its centered position as close to the glass as we can, pressing down and then going along the spoiler and making sure that it follows the glass edge. Once I've covered the entire length of the spoiler, press down firmly multiple times and go back and forth. Here's another angle showing that I'm pressing down on the cloth, making sure that the spoiler adheres well. There will probably be some adhesion promoter that's still on the glass. Use the cloth and remove any of the adhesion promoter so that the glass is clean. You can now remove the blue painter's tape. And with that, I'm done. Overall, a pretty easy install. You just have to be careful when centering the spoiler and making sure that the glass is clean before you start. Unfortunately, I forgot to do a before test showing the water when it flows down the back window and into the trunk area. I'll just leave that to your imagination. First up, I'm going to do a light water test with water coming out of a plastic watering can. You can catch 3 places where the water went over the spoiler and into the trunk area. 2 of them happen to be near the edges, so I give it a little bit of a pass on that. You can see how that the spoiler is channeling water around the trunk area. Here's a second test with a medium flow of water. You can see a bit more water is going into the trunk, but this is probably much heavier than you're going to normally see in real life. A heavy water test is probably not going to be that realistic because in any case when there's a downpour of rain, you're going to get water coming down into the trunk vertically too. Mostly the spoiler is designed to prevent water when you open the trunk lid that falls off the trunk lid onto the back glass and into the trunk area. I think in this situation it should work well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.